How well do you need to speak German to study in Germany? You absolutely don't have to be a native speaker to go to university here. However, there are a couple of language requirements that you need to fulfill to get accepted into a degree program. Please watch this video to the end because there are a lot of important details I'm going to share with you. I'm also going to show you the websites of actual universities and look at their specific language requirements. So to make it very clear from the start, you need to be on an intermediate to advanced level of German if you want to study in Germany. It makes sense, right? The universities or vocational training schools don't want you to suffer because your German is not good enough. Now at the moment, 400,000 international students are studying in Germany and most of them come from non-English and non-German speaking countries. So don't worry, universities are prepared to onboard students whose first language is not German. Now in German there are 6 language levels that were set as a standard: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1 and C2. This is so that you as an applicant know exactly how well you should speak German. It's like levels in a video game. You have to get enough experience points to unlock the map German University. So A1 is the lowest level here and it shows that you are a beginner. Everybody starts right here. And the highest possible level you can reach is C2. This is the native speaker level and you have basically mastered the language. But it takes a long time to get there and this is absolutely not the requirement. Alright, so let's look at the individual types of degree programs in Germany and their language requirements. If you want to go for a German-taught bachelor's degree in Germany, you usually need to show a B2 or C1 level of proficiency in the language. Most of the time, especially at bigger, more popular universities, it's C1. But I've also seen a lot of universities accept the B2 level. We will see this at the end of the video when I show you the actual university websites. Especially in technical universities with degrees that focus on natural sciences, the language requirements are usually less strict. It makes sense, right? You usually need to be good at technical skills and not read high-level German poetry like Theodor Fontane and Heinrich Heine. Now for a German-taught master's degree, the requirements are also similar. Again, it's B2 to C1. For doctoral and PhD programs, there are really no universal German language requirements. They are widely different depending on the university because a lot of the time, research can also be done in English. And in case you're looking for an English-taught degree program in Germany, they mostly use English as the language of instruction. So you might not need to know much German to enroll. Now, some of the degree programs ask you for an A2 certificate or expect you to learn advanced German once you're enrolled in university. Now in Germany, there's also the option to do an apprenticeship, an Ausbildung. Many people overlook this one. Here the language requirements are a little lower. You usually need to show B1 to B2 depending on the program. But I want you to keep one thing in mind. For studying in Germany, institutions absolutely don't expect you to speak German on a native level. Otherwise, no international students would study in Germany, right? The language level they want to see from you is very fair and reachable for anyone who puts in the effort. Now, as a way to learn German fast, I recently launched my Speedy German language program and hundreds of enrolled students absolutely love it. If you're serious about learning German, check out the top link in the video description. But the question is, how can you show that you're on a specific level of German like A2 or B2? Let me tell you, the Duolingo test is unfortunately not enough. You need to show a recognized language certificate in your application. Unless you are a native speaker, you get a certificate if you pass a German language exam. I made a detailed video about language exams and certificates, but to keep it short here, you can take these exams to enter a German university. So as long as you hold one of these certificates, you are good to go. Your dream university will accept your certificate as valid proof of your language skills. However, and this is really important to know, some universities will give you the option to apply with a placeholder. For example, you show a language certificate on a lower level and hand in the required language certificate later. Let's say the requirement is C1 for a business degree. By the time you apply, you might only have the B2 certificate ready. But this is okay as long as you show the university proof of C1 when you enroll. So it's possible to be admitted under the condition that you will show a language certificate at a high enough level later. It's like the buy now, pay later feature when you go shopping. Okay, so now let's look at 5 well-known universities in Germany and their language requirements. This will give you a good understanding of what they want from you. The first one is the University of Augsburg. They have a very detailed page on language requirements, but in general you need B2 to get admission in a German-taught program. And they are also kind enough to list the accepted certificates for both English and German. Very straightforward. The next one I want to have a look at is LMU, the Ludwig Maximilian University in Munich. Here they are talking about DSH2 and TestDev TDN4. This is the equivalent of C1. Now here you can see that they don't accept the Goethe C1 certificate, only C2. Now you don't have to be on the C2 level, don't worry. The reason for that is that the Goethe exam is a more general language exam and it is not specifically made to prepare you for the academic life in Germany. On the other hand, DSH and TestDev prepare you for that. But there are other universities that do accept the Goethe exam, so don't worry. But for LMU, C1 is the requirement, definitely one of the toughest ones. TU Darmstadt is next, also a very well-known university in Germany. If you scroll down a little bit, you can open the drop-down here and it says that you need the DSH2. This is the C1 level. Now to be able to take the exam, it says that you need to have proof of your B2 proficiency first. Now the interesting thing is, if you have one of these certificates right here, you don't have to take the DSH exam. Goethe C1 for example is accepted here, so keep in mind that the requirements can be completely different by university. Humboldt University Berlin, C1 proficiency. Goethe C1 is also fine here. This sentence is also important to understand. TestDev with a score of at least 3 in all sections in order to be able to take the DSH exam in the event of admission. So this means you can apply to this university with B2. And after you get accepted, they want you to take the DSH test to make sure that you're on the C1 level. So you can apply with B2, but in the end you have to be on the C1 level. Now these requirements are for the German taught degree programs at these universities. Keep in mind that English taught degree programs have more relaxed language requirements. One more university that I want to show you is the TH Deckendorf. If you look up language requirements for this one online, you will stumble upon this big list. This is actually a blessing because they have listed the language requirements for all the different degree programs. Here you can see a lot of B2 and C1, and occasionally A1 or A2 for English taught programs. Or look at this, this is also common in English taught degrees. You need to show a certain level of German when you finish your studies. At TH Deckendorf it seems to be A2 that needs to be completed when you are at the end of your degree. I know that some of these requirements are easy to fulfill and others are not. You know, learning German up until B2 or C1 takes dedication, but because it's not easy, the competition is also less. So admission to a German taught degree program in Germany is easy for people who are willing to put in the effort. German taught programs are truly less competitive than English taught ones. Everybody wants to study in Germany in English, but imagine you invest time in learning German. You don't have to worry too much about other components of your profile, and you also gain a new valuable skill. Being able to speak the German language will open so many doors for you. And at some point you have to learn proper German anyway if you also want to live and work in Germany. So why not start as early as possible? But as you saw, the exact requirements are different by university. There are also many universities that only want B2 from you. These are hidden gems and you have to search a little bit more to find them. Check out Speedy German and other useful resources in the video description, subscribe and join our huge Discord community. Love you and stay focused.